The show basically revolves over 16 to 20 contestants that go to live in an isolated penthouse apartment for 4 months, with one of the contestants getting eliminated every week through a nomination process. The contestants get to showcase their talents in a weekly concert in which the contestants get to perform on stage with various designs, dancers, solo performances, a cappella on piano, and sharing the stage with the most popular singers in the Arab world. Talents are not restricted to singing only, but for acting and dancing as well. It is hosted by Hilda Caliph. One of the show's highlights are the appearances of some of the Arab world's most important performers. As of its third season, the show witnessed guests from the international superstars. Movies have become a very popular part of today's world. There are several movies which are filmed or based on Lebanon, including West Beirut, released in 1998, Maribek Again, released in 2000, Aftershave, which received the French César Award for Best Foreign Short Film, released in 2005, Bosta, released in 2005, Under the Bombs, released in 2006, and Caramel, released in 2007. Not very long ago, Lebanon created a hit sensation movie. Caramel, the first feature film by Lebanese director and actress Nadine Labaki, is a 2007 Lebanese film. The film premiered on May 20th at the 2007 Cannes Film Festival in the director's four-night section. Caramel was distributed in over 40 countries, easily becoming the most internationally acclaimed exposed film to date. This film is unique for not showcasing a war-ravaged Beirut, but rather a warm and invite local where people deal with universal issues. The public seemed to love this movie. As of July 3rd, 2009, the media reported 92% of critics gave the film positive reviews. As of May 18th, 2008, the film has grossed over a little $1 million in the US. Impressive, since it was a very limited release. Internationally, it has amassed a little over 14 million, making it a very profitable foreign film. The film became Lebanon's official submission to the 80th Academy Awards for Best Foreign Language Film. Music is pervasive in Lebanese society. While traditional folk music remains popular in Lebanon, modern music takes over. Western and traditional Arabic styles such as pop and fusion are rapidly advancing in popularity. Radio stations feature a variety of music, including traditional Lebanese, classical Arabic, and modern French, English, American, and Latin tunes. Prominent traditional musicians, including Ferouz, an icon during the Civil War, and Najwa Karam, who built an international audience for this genre. Marcel Caliph, a musician who blends classical Arab music with modern sounds, boasts immense popularity for his politically charged lyrics. Distinguished pop artists include Nancy Ajram, whose albums sell into the millions, the vocalist Haifa, the Four Cats, an all-female group, and Fald Shaker. According to the World Intellectual Property Organization, Lebanon's music industry is growing and could attain leading status in the region. Lebanese performers are celebrated throughout the Arab world, and with notable exception of Egypt, enjoy increasing regional popularity. Rising demand for Arabic music outside the Middle East has provided Lebanese artists with a small but significant global audience. Music festivals, often hosted at historical sites, are a customary element of Lebanese culture. However, widespread piracy continues to inhibit the music industry's growth.
I'd like to be a successful businessman. Actually, I went to one of the most prestigious universities in the Middle East, and it's called the American University of Beirut. I am I'm allowed to go out with my friends alone, and this has been going on since I was around 16 to 17. I do drive since the age of 18. It's quite common in Lebanon for people to still live with their parents after graduating from college, and it's until they get married that's when they usually leave. For men, 26 or 27, and for women, it's like 24, 25.
Lebanon has a free market economy. The government does not restrict foreign investment. However, the investment climate suffers from red tape, corruption, arbitrary licensing decisions, high taxes, tariffs and fees, archaic legislation, and weak intellectual property rights. The Lebanese economy is service oriented. The main growth sectors include banking, tourism. The 1975 to 1990 civil war seriously damaged Lebanon's economic infrastructure, cut national output by half, and all ended Lebanon's position as a Middle Eastern entrepot and banking hub. In the years since, Lebanon has rebuilt much of its wartime physical and financial infrastructure by borrowing heavily, mostly from domestic banks. In an attempt to reduce the ballooning national debt, the Rafik Hariri government in 2000 began an austerity program, reining in government expenditures, increasing revenue collection, and passing legislation to private state and enterprises. That economic and financial reform initiates stalled and public debt continue to grow despite receipt of more than 2 billion in bilateral assistance at the 2002 Paris 2 Donors Conference. The Israeli Hezbollah conflict in July August 2006 caused an estimated $3.6 billion in infrastructure damage and prompted international donors to pledge nearly $1 billion in recovery and reconstruction. Donors met again in January 2007 at the Paris 3 Donor Conference and pledged more than $7.5 billion to Lebanon for development projects and budget support, conditioned on progress on Beirut's fiscal performance and privatization program. An 18-month political stalemate and sporadic sectarian and political violence hampered economic activity, particularly tourism, retail sales, and investment until new government was formed in July 2008. Political stability following the Doha Accord of May 2008 helped boost tourism, and together with a strong banking sector, enabled real GDP growth of 7% in 2009, despite of a slowdown in the region. Lebanon's economy and markets are best described at the dawn of the new millennium by a private and liberal economic activity and an openness to broad with perfect capital and labor mobility. The private sector contributes to around 75% of aggregate demand, a well-diversified sector that covers the totality of economic sectors and is a major pillar for growth and recovery. The Lebanese economy is also a typical open economy with a large banking sector equivalent to more than 2.5 times its economic sector and providing an important support to aggregate demand. The Lebanese economy is based primarily on the service sector, which accounts for approximately 60% of the GDP, down from approximately 70% in the 1970s. Major subsectors are commerce, tourism, and financial services. Other components include the healthcare and higher education. Commerce. The port of Beirut plays an important role in Lebanon's commercial activities. After World War II, Beirut became the most important Arab port on the eastern Mediterranean, serving the Arab world. A free port area and for re-exports added to Beirut's success. During the conflict, the port of Beirut virtually closed down and related commerce ground to a halt. Work has been completed on the reconstruction